All right, guys, we're live. And like I've been promising you for a while, I had to get rid of that old opening. But because it's so freaking hot here in Washington the last little bit, I haven't wanted to do anything. Seriously. So I went with the 30-second timer. I didn't even film my review on this. And for you guys who are Batman fans, you know what that is. Yes, I'm embracing my inner child. But still, it's a huge hit in my house. Of course, he loses his webcam. Way to go, Code. Way to go. He'll be back. He'll figure it out. But still, tonight, guys, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make fun of him in a moment for screwing the webcam really quick.
Of course.
Thankfully, the heat has broke, and I don't feel like I'm dying. Like I told Devon in the green room, I literally saw a live feed the other night. I was like, what the hell is Ken doing live on a Saturday? I lost all sense of time, all sense of everything. But, it's currently watching this in bed and not wearing socks. Okay, Camo, that's a little overshare, but thank you, bro.
I have socks on in case you were here, Cam.
It's got to be his internet. He'll figure it out. He'll come back. You're lagging a little, bro, but it's all right. And leave it to Metal Guy. This live stream's going to be well done. See, Breezy, bro, how you doing? All right, guys. Now, tonight, Devon has come back into the no lag zone. This is kind of a treat. Hey, Joshua Ricks, how are you? This is kind of a treat. What's going on, Rich? He's brave enough to come back. As much as we give each other shit all the time, this is going to be fun. Now, Code, I can't believe there's nobody out there who doesn't know who you are. But just like last time, take a moment and think about the NBA draft looking at your video.
Oh, man. Hey, what's going on? I see everybody pouring into the chat. Just want to say what's up. Aaron, what's up? Eric, Josh, what's going on, everybody?
Ripkin.
But yeah, man. I think most people know me, but if you don't, I'm just your typical college kid who also happens to play college basketball. I go to school. I go to school out in the absolute middle of nowhere in Kansas, but I'm from Colorado. I'm back home right now. And I just, love having a beard. I love beard products. So that's, of course, where the beard content kind of came from and got me into that. Like most people, jumped into the rabbit hole, found Scuba and Dan C and Scott and Matt with No BS and Chris was actually one of the first ones I saw as well. And yeah, man, it all spiraled and everything took off downhill. And now I am in far too deep. I've gotten involved not only in the beard world, but just kind of being a part of the beard world has kind of gotten me, I guess, trapped in a few other different worlds. Chris, I've told you this numerous times, not partially, you are the blame for my recent knife obsession. Tyson, I just saw him in the chat. Tyson was a big reason I got really involved into the tech and camera and media and all that kinds of good stuff. So, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff. I know, content has been pretty slow the past month and a half, 2 months for me. But a lot of that time has been spent, one, on vacation, and two, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes as far as...
Hey, Devon, excuse me 1 second,
please.
Good. Hey, y'all sus. So nice to see you here. Now, goodbye.
No time for it, man. No time for it.
No. And if anybody's wondering, that's one of my problem children who attacked me over the weekend in my Ruddy Man unboxing video. So if any of his other companions want to pop in and anybody wants to keep creating senseless drama on a very fun live feed, you got me.
Simple.
Sorry to interrupt your Code, please.
No, you're good. But yeah, man, like I said, it all kind of started with the beard world and making content, and that kind of spiraled. I, watched some of your beard content at first and then was like, hey, look at this knife review. And now I find myself on CRKT far too many times throughout the week when I should be doing something else. Like I said, I got real involved in the cameras and tech and media and just all kinds of stuff as a result of being a part of the beard community. And I think that's one of the cool things is a lot of us have, a shared common passion or, hobby or whatever you want to call it in having a beard and collecting beard products. But a lot of us are involved in a lot of other stuff. And so kind of seeing some of the other passions that people have, like you with knives and EDC stuff, Tyson a lot with the tech and camera equipment and stuff like that. It really kind of got me involved and opened my eyes to some new things because I will be the first one to admit I'm one, an introvert, and two, I hated anything that had to do anything with like artsy, artistic, anything in that realm forever. I was always the athlete. All if it wasn't dribbling a basketball, I didn't want anything to do with it. And funny enough, I now one make content and two have become like absolutely just a freak about photography and cinematography.
Nice.
And that was to me, I never considered myself artistic. I liked music, but I couldn't sing. I played the drum for a little bit, but that was like, not really. And I just never saw myself like having any sort of like artistic ability or artistic expression until I kind of found my realm, I guess you could call it, with photography and videography and that whole sort of thing. So it's cool, man. It's like I said, I'm just typical college kid, man. I got a semester left of college before I enter into the real world of medical school, hopefully. And then, yeah, man, I'm just going to keep doing me. That's all I got.
Okay. This is where I'm going to call him out. Number one, first point you made. You went, I watched some of your beard videos. I went, that's probably why he started his, because the thought in his head was, I can do it so much better than grandpa. And number two, isn't it great when you just get to follow your passion that you didn't even know was there? And it's like it awakens something in you, and you're like, I want to chase this. I want to run down this rabbit hole and go, let's see how far I can get to,
Right. And yeah, no, you're good. Like I was saying, like, I never really, I'm pretty introverted. I'm pretty quiet. I like to keep to myself for the most part. And, I actually love making content, as weird as that is. For me, that's how I put myself out there and kind of engage and interact with people, even though I'm not really doing that per se.
My mom said hi. I heard the beep.
And but yeah, man, so it's just cool how, like I said, this whole beard community and beard world really kind of awakened some of those passions and hobbies and newfound interests and stuff like that. I think it's one of the coolest things about this community is you can really kind of help spark some new interest if you allow it to. So
yeah, and that's what I think is so cool is, like, I was joking with you in the green room and going, this is not going to be a night about, hey, Devon, I know you have a discount code. Can you tell me great things about that company and how it works wonders in your beard? It's more about, let's bring out more about you. And this is the part I like. Dan down here, Beard of the North, you said you like creating content. He likes editing. Right. So I'm like, I'm just going to film out my crap to him, have him edit my videos, and I'm good. I get to be the goofy, some bitch behind the camera and be like, all right, Dan, handle my work.
Right. Yeah, no. And it's funny because like for me, I always thought that editing was going to be the tedious part that I was going to hate. But that for me has become one of my favorite parts about the video is because I think, obviously it's how I choose to kind of express myself in my own form and my own content is, my kind of stylistic spin that I put on different editing and stuff like that. But one, I think I hated it just because I didn't really know what I was doing at first. But the more I learned different softwares and got more comfortable with it, that's one of my favorite parts about the video is because for me, I can sit down. That's my escape from everything else going on, whether it's school, life, work, at the coffee shop, whatever. I can kind of just sit down at my computer, pull up Final Cut or Adobe Premiere Pro, and I can just bang out and edit a video. And to me, that's relaxing and kind of like my escape from everything else going on. So Aaron, it's funny. I like editing too.
They're safe for now. That's all I'm going to say. They're safe for now. It's been really hot. They know I'm a little cranky, so still. All right, now let's touch on a little bit of your content creation. I think I asked you this last time, but I'm old and it's been over a year, so I get to ask this again. Do you like script your videos out, or are you one of those that like you just sit down and be like, all right, let's do this,
Yeah, no, I absolutely I've tried both ways. Early on, I tried to just sit, and it's actually embarrassing to say this. I looked back at my first video and actually watched it the other day while I was on the airplane or sitting in the airport, getting ready to get on the airplane. And it's a humbling experience to say the least. But that video, I scripted everything out word for word and memorized it because I felt like I had to do it all in one take. And so it's the most just robotic, monotonous, boring, bland, gray-filled video probably on the internet. And that everything was scripted like word for word. I memorized it so I didn't have to look down. I just knew everything. And it took me like 2.5 days to film that video because if I messed up, I'd be 4 minutes in and I just delete it. I'm like, nope, I messed up. It's time to start over. Now I'm like, I don't have time for that. I would never get a video finished if I still filmed that way.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yep, there you go. And man, like, yeah, so now I've kind of learned what works best for me, stylistically and that whole sort of thing. So what I do now is I actually plan out a video, not necessarily scripted word for word, more so just kind of bullet points, general ideas.
Yeah.
And I kind of have that there with me while I'm filming, mostly because if I get to talking, I don't want to forget anything. For the most part, I have like a routine that I kind of go through. And so what I do is I plan the video out bullet point wise, kind of on paper and in my head, kind of walk through what all I have to say, my thoughts, my opinions, all that kinds of good stuff. And I walk through those bullet points and just kind of elaborate as I get to each bullet point while I'm talking. And that seems to work the best for me. I think scripting it out for me word for word would feel too robotic. Yeah, exactly. See,
with knife reviews, I put it somewhere where I can see it, where it's off camera. So I have everything I got to talk about.
Yep, absolutely. Just like that. And I think that's what works best for me personally. I know some people who just sit in front of the camera and just go. I know myself well enough to know that if I tried to do something like that, I'd probably forget to talk about, something, the price or
he's got my old internet. This is great.
To talk about a cent or whatever. So for me, it just works better to kind of have bullet points to go through.
Hey, Gabe. Yeah, man, but I agree with Dan. Everybody looks back on their first video. When you're filming it, you don't know how horrible you are.
Right.
Nobody comes swinging out of the gate as refined as like Dan Seabearded or Scuba. Nobody.
Right.
Dan's even admitted, if you go back and look at some of his older videos, well, he doesn't want you to do that because his beard is like here,
Right, little baby beard.
Exactly, but we all grow and we become comfortable. Hi, Mom. Every time it goes off, I'm going to say that, just so you know.
Right, perfect timing.
Right? But, I mean, we just get better. And, see, it's funny, like, with men's grooming products, because I've put out a lot of Johnny Slicks videos, a lot of Chesapeake, and I'm getting ready to gear up for a lot of Ruddy Man. Mm. You memorize those facts about that company that you want to talk about. It almost becomes just like a little monotone that you're able to get it out.
Right.
And the only thing you have to remember is the scent profile or the price change or, the who's the what's and the where's.
Right.
But when you're doing other stuff like the knife reviews, and I know you're going to be doing some soon. I know you. I know you. It's you want to have those, I call them show notes. You want to have them there. So you've got something to go back to. So you don't, like I just filmed my video. And damn it, I forgot to mention like this point in North Carolina,
Right, exactly.
I love embracing my mistakes. I really do.
And I think that's, a big thing. And I think, that's obviously a part of content is embracing your mistakes, because that's truly, I think, one of the best ways for people to kind of get a sense of who you actually are as a person.
Yes.
And that can be the toughest thing, because if you sit down and watch, one of my 8-minute videos, that's not really a super accurate representation of who I am as a person. But the more that I can convey to myself in that video, the more you kind of get to know. And I think a good way to do that, like I said, is the mistakes. And I think there's a couple different ways you can do that. Like you and your style is, the kids run in, they're screaming in the background and they burst through the door. The camera takes a dump, whatever. And I think that is a really cool way that you express like, hey, I'm real, I'm authentic, I'm raw. This is, I am what I am. And here's what you're going to get from me. And for me, don't get it wrong. I make plenty of mistakes. I choose to just edit them out. And so if you pay attention to my videos, it seems like edit. And that's because I sit there and I look at the camera and I go, my name's my name's Devon, and so I have to edit all of that stuff out. Trust me, one 8-minute video is like 45 minutes of just Devon being dumb. And so for me, I think like I said, it's just a different way to express like all those edits. If you watch my videos, I promise every time I edit, it's either dead air, I said something wrong, I stumbled on some words and had to start over. It's something. I made some sort of mistake. And, so that's just kind of how I express like, look, here's how many times I mess up throughout the course of a video. It's just me rambling. So I've got to cut it all out.
Am I back? Come on. Come on.
We got you. Think you're good.
All right. See, I was making fun of you for your videos and pauses, and what happens? The internet went, we got Devon's back.
Karma gets you.
So I'm saying it's my show. fine. I get to
Right.
pick on the guest. All right, bro. We're going to touch on a couple more things in the beard world and like content creation. Now, I know you have affiliate codes and you have discount codes.
Mm-hmm.
There's this, I don't want to call it a movement, but there's some people out there who are going, affiliate codes and discount codes are stealing from the community. They're not right. Companies have to jack their prices in order to give you that code. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah. For me, I think for all the work that myself, you, everybody else who creates content for that matter, put in on our end, and the platform that we've put the work in to kind of help establish, whether it be on Instagram or on YouTube or TikTok or whatever content you have, and the following that you kind of established, I think, you deserve that affiliate link. If it's a small percent of a kickback, whatever it is, that really helps you to kind of, be somewhat rewarded, and you kind of get some compensation for bringing attention to, if it's Chesapeake or if it's Beard Octane or if it's, Copper John's, whatever it might be. If I'm going to share that with, hey, look, there it is, CMU Live.
Go figure, right?
Right.
It's a good code.
But like I said,
anyone wants to use it, hurry up.
Yeah, go ahead. 5 minutes, you guys. But like I said, I think if I take the time out of my day to, come up with videos, plan, film, edit, do all that kinds of good stuff, that's a lot of work. And so if I'm going to bring that to my channel, to my Instagram, to whatever, and help promote a company, you deserve time and effort and compensation in return for your time and effort that you've put in. So for me, I think, like I said, affiliate deals are not something that I'm against by any means. I think it's a good thing that, we're rewarding people who are taking the time out of their day to help promote a company that they believe in. And I don't necessarily think there's a misconception, I think, almost for, how affiliate deals work.
Good. Aaron, you're good.
No worries, man. No worries. Because not necessarily, I think that's on the company's end. If they have to jack their prices to then turn around and compensate somebody else, like their affiliates, to pay them, that I think is on the end of the company, and they should be the ones who you're ridiculing, I guess, if that's the best way to put that, if people see it that way, not necessarily the content creator, because why should I be, lashed out against for taking the time out of my day to help promote a company that I believe in? But I can speak, personally for the companies that I'm affiliated with and the ones that I work very closely alongside. I know that they're not doing that simply, to jack their prices just that way they can still make the same amount at the end of the day and still pay their affiliates, however much. Those companies are taking that out of their own pocket to pay us, to kind of thank us for the work that we've put in.
Thank you. And I think you put it just beautifully right there. Okay. Anytime a company has ever approached me, and there's only been two. All right. Actually, there was a third, but I turned down Copper John's in the beginning because I didn't think he was at that point to bring on affiliates from me. Not saying I'm an expert, not saying I've got business majors, any of this crap. Various stuff, brother. We're getting to know our guests a little bit better tonight. Devon, this guy has been awesome with commenting on my knife reviews and the other fun stuff. He's really cool, dude.
I like it. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not like I'm a business major or any of that. If they approach me and they go, hey, I like what you're doing, I want to offer you a code that if you give it to your viewers, I'll give you a kickback. Okay. Well, it's not like any company's ever come to me and went, hey, look, you are so awesome. I'm going to jack my prices by $250 so I can pay you for each little sale you make.
Right.
And even if it's a discount code, I mean, give me a break. Not code because he's getting out of training pants. I get one of those out. If you go to a club and someone's like, oh, my God, Jose Cuervo's here for the next 20 minutes. Shots are $1. You're getting a discount at a bar.
Right.
So I find that incredibly dumb when people come out and hold on, I want to highlight this one. I find it incredibly dumb when people come out and go, you're stealing if you have an affiliate code. Oh, no. But wait, I have affiliate codes, but I do them the correct way.
And there's 2 points that I kind of want to follow up with. One, that's a great point right there about, affiliates being cheaper than advertising. Because one, if you think about it, if I put out a review for Cindy Lou Who Grooming Company, and I have an affiliate. That video is now on the internet forever, right?
Yep.
So even, and I think this can also kind of be tied into, should reviewers be paid or not to kind of pull in a whole separate discussion. But even if you are paid for a review, even if you do have an affiliate link or code in that video, that is so much cheaper for a company to pay their affiliates or pay the fee for that review video than it would be to advertise somewhere like Instagram or Google or Facebook or whatever it might be, because those ads are expensive. I've looked on like personally just to look how much it would be to like advertise one of my own videos or my channel or whatever. I've looked and I've talked to companies about how much they pay or how much it would cost them to do ads on other certain places and certain platforms, and it is exponentially more expensive. So as a company, it makes perfect sense for them to say, you know what, it's going to be cheaper for me to pay you as an affiliate, even if it's 10, 20, however much percent of the kickback. It's cheaper for them in the long run, and it's lifetime advertisement. If you go to Facebook and you buy an advertisement, it's going to cost you more, and it's a limited time. So you have to pay for the advertisement, and it's like, this
very short run, very short
for a month. So it's this much for a week, or it's this much for a month, and then you have to turn on and pay that again, or you make that one small little payment, or you kind of give them their affiliate check at the end of the month, or but again, like I said, it's going to be exponentially cheaper for a company to do it that way. And a lot of times, if I'm a men's grooming company and I sell beard oil, it would make more sense, I think, to some extent, to push affiliate deals to somebody like Dan C, or to me, or to Ken from Bluegrass, or to the cousins, Kyle and Joe, or whoever, because they have a following and a platform devoted to beards. Versus if I just try and blast ads to Facebook, there's millions of people on Facebook, and most of them probably don't care about beards or don't have a beard. So it's, it makes more sense if you're going to push an affiliate to somebody who has a platform that already cares about what you might be trying to sell as a company. And so like I said, I'm fully in support of affiliates. I have affiliate, codes and links that I, from companies that I believe in. And I think that shouldn't be necessarily something that, content creators are ridiculed for doing. They're not stealing from the community. They're not. And again, at the end of the day, most of the time, actually all of the time, with an affiliate deal, not only is it giving the customer and the consumer a discount, but you're not paying anything extra on the long run so that I can get paid.
Well, and there is one small downside, in my opinion, with affiliate codes and discount codes. Now, just as an example, my channel has 5,000 subscribers. Yours has, and I'm throwing a number, I don't know. Let's just say 500. You're competing with me for, number one, for YouTube views, and number two, people using affiliate codes. Because if the code doesn't get used, you don't get paid.
Right.
Now, there's some people out there who sit and go, hey, great review, I love it. They go to this company, they start to input, and they go with their favorite reviewer's code just out of memory. It may be yours, it may not be yours.
Right.
But still, it's just, what we got here? Okay. Yeah, see, exactly. And that's the other bit that really kills me. Every single penny I have ever made from Google AdSense, or if anybody super chats or a donation or whatever, it goes right back into my channel. Because for the very longest time, I've had to run on a very shoestring budget. Recently, I've been blessed and I'm able to do a little bit more, but that's coming to a point where halfway through the year, and I'm thinking of the back half with Christmas and getting everything taken care of now. Right. So going out and being able to spend, she's downstairs, a bunch on knives, ain't going to be happening much anytime. Right. But, that's just because I know you had them, and I figured I'd ask that because I know you'd give me a good answer, which you did. A very well thought out answer. And it's not like I gave you that question because, yeah. Breezy, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Breezy? Alex. What's going on?
Okay. Now, the other one I have for beard content, I know CBD and beard products and men's grooming products now is the rage. It is the latest, greatest toy you had to have as a kid. You're like, oh my God, I need this, I need that, I have to have this, I have to. Now it's like everybody's got CBD in everything. Mm. Do you personally think it's a fad, or do you think it's here to stay?
Um, I think a little bit of both, honestly. I know that might seem kind of contradictory or like a cop out answer, but I think CBD is a fad in the sense that it is really hot right now. There's a lot of companies that are doing it, getting involved, looking into doing it, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Uh, but I also think that I can only speak for me personally, and from what I've heard from some others, CBD does seem to work really well for some people. It works well. I can notice a little bit of a difference in my beard personally. So I think for that reason, it's also going to be here to stay. And I think, I think it's a bit of both. Like I said, it's here to stay, I think, but it is the big thing right now.
Yes.
It's just really hot. And I think more companies are going to keep trying it. They're going to look into doing it, but I think it's going to stay around for a while.
And Josh, I will ask you this, bro. I know the very first oil I tried had a very low milligram dosage of CBD in there. I didn't get any of the feeling that everybody else was getting, but when I went to a higher dosage, I noticed a difference. So have you tried multiple companies, multiple dosages? Maybe it's another thing I found was the carrier oils. There are some carrier oils to me that do not work well with CBD in my beard.
And I think, with the CBD thing now, I am by no means any sort of CBD expert, but I know that some people just have, different levels of tolerance, whether it be topical use, whether it be ingestible use. So for some people, maybe you've tried like, XYZ company and their CBD blend, and they're only using, however much, a smaller amount of CBD, and you might not notice anything. But if you try ABC company and they're using 10 times as much CBD in their blend, you might notice a little bit different because your beard and your skin and your hair just needs a little bit more CBD for you to notice that big difference. And so, I think it's just there, and again, tying back into the carrier blend, we all know that we all have different beards and different carrier blends work differently. And I think the same thing, if you're adding CBD to it, there might be some carriers where the CBD doesn't necessarily work as well as it might with another carrier blend. So that's always something to keep in mind.
And it's funny you mentioned carriers because everybody's popping out with tinctures nowadays. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got 3 of them from 3 different companies here in my hand. 2 of those we know very, very well in the beard community. Now, granted, I'm out of Doc Fox and I haven't bought another one since, but when I tried Doc Fox, all I could taste was the coconut oil. That's it. I couldn't taste anything. Chesapeake with theirs, I got the lemon lime right away. And when I tried a veteran-owned company out of Texas, it was like worlds different. John Burke's Shell Shot Company. Mm. So it's weird that you had made mention that about carriers and different blends and everything, because that seems to play a lot into everything, is how it's mixed, how it's taken care of. And I don't know if I highlighted that earlier, but yeah, and there was a huge difference because I think I know the companies you're talking about, bro.
Right.
All right. For both of you, do you have any product and knife that you wanted to own or review, but just have? Actually, yeah. I've always wanted a gladius, the old Roman swords and the old Roman legionnaires, but I want it done a certain kind of way. And now that I'm learning how to forge stuff, I'm making my own. So why buy it when I can make it? Well, actually, I'm kind of buying it because I got to buy the steel, the time, the forge, and everything else. But
lots that goes into it.
Oh, God, yes. So what about you, Code? You got anything that you thought, own a review, but just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet?
I mean, it's like I said earlier, I'm a college student, so that's no surprise that I run on a fairly limited budget.
Here he goes. He's not going to pander for cookies and ramen, okay? He loves to play that card. I'm a broke college kid. Send me food. No!
Hey, it's the truth. So, with that, I don't get to try anywhere near as many companies when they drop new scents or new blends or new products or whatever as I would like. So there's tons and tons of companies that I still haven't yet tried, products that I still want to try, different scents from companies that I may or may not have tried already that I still want to try. Sure. I would absolutely love, I would probably give my left ear for another camera, but I cannot fathom spending $6,500 on a camera body. That's just the body.
Yeah.
But it's like my dream to own a Sony A1 right now. That camera is an absolute just beast, but like I said, I'm not sitting on a few $100,000 where I can justify buying a $6,500 camera just because. And there's plenty of knives. Practically every time I see one of Chris's reviews, I'm like, oh, look at that one. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some F-bombs in there for sure. But there's a lot of really cool blades that I'm like, dude, like what? Like I see them, or I get on CRKT or Blade HQ, and I'm like, oh, I need that one. Okay. Well, I haven't bought groceries yet this month, so maybe I should wait. Well, do I have to eat? And then I go to the calf in the dining hall, and I'm like, yeah, I need to buy groceries.
I've been there, and I've also been there where you look at that blade and you go, God, that looks beautiful. You get it in, and you go, oh shit.
Right.
And Josh, Chronic Beard Co. Go check them out if you haven't, bro. Chronic Mike does amazing work over there.
That's one I still need to try.
I got an affiliate code for you that also works with Bandbox Fella. So
nice.
And Half Baked, yeah, I agree 100%, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is a college kid, so ramen noodles and Vienna sausages.
Hey, man. That I wish I was making this up, but I have definitely had some ramen and Vienna sausages for meals before.
And here we go. Devon, you tried anything with ostrich oil? See, this
I have, yes. Not a ton. The only ostrich oil I've tried. I think you're coming back. I think we're good now. But yeah, the only ostrich oil I've tried.
I bet it's the heat. So sorry, guys.
And but yeah, I've tried Magic City. That's the only ostrich oil I've tried. I personally liked it a lot better than the emu oil stuff that I had tried in the past, but I'd only tried it from one company. So, and of course, again, it all comes down to carrier blends and ratios and percentages and stuff like that. So I don't want to necessarily say quite yet which one I think is better, or if I think ostrich oil is the end all be all and the greatest thing since sliced bread, since I've only tried it from one company. But I will say that one experience, like I said, is from Magic City, and it was pretty good. So.
See, for me, I haven't done anything with ostrich oil yet. I want to go back and try Pedro's new blend from Black Rebel, simply because the emu oil at that 75% rate didn't really work well in my beard.
Right.
You can ask Bearded Life. I got a bottle in of one of his favorites, and I was like, oh, this stuff's pretty good. I put it in. I'm like, so what's your address? It's coming to you.
Right. You know? Yeah, no, I am right there with you. I've said it before, on camera and on streams that I really liked Black Rebel for what he did with the scents. When he dropped Cash, I jumped all over it. I love that scent. It's ridiculous. The Bronco Buster was really good. Is another one that
was the one. Up. I couldn't remember the name. Bronco Buster. Thank you. That's the one I said. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Hope your kids are well, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Chris? I absolutely love both of those scents, but for me, the 75% emu oil was just too much, because I had actually tried some of Pedro's stuff from, I honestly think it was maybe like a year or two ago at this point. Yeah. But he used to offer, he had his just straight up carrier blend. He had a 25% emu blend and a 75. And I jumped on and tried the 25%, and I liked that a lot better than when he started offering just the 75% blend. I think 75% emu oil is probably, I think what it is it's just too much emu oil for me personally in my beard. And it just didn't seem to work anywhere near as well as when he had the 25%. And so with the ostrich oil, maybe my beard can handle it at 75%. I know Magic City only does 50%, so maybe that's why I had better experiences with that, because I know ostrich and emu oil are pretty similar. But like I said, I just haven't tried enough yet to really justify and I think give an exact opinion on how I feel and where I stand with both of them. So
okay, you see Dan's comment down here. It'd be a little bit more impressive if he wasn't in Supermax and had that much time to make a list like that. So I'm just saying, Dan. Just saying, bro. And Half Baked, thank you, brother.
Yeah,
he said it. I didn't.
Hit that thumbs up for sure. Hit it for Grandpa.
That's right. Gets me extra internet time in the old folks' home. See Aaron Rodgers? I can play back. Oh, by the way, hey, Aaron, sweep! Fuck the Yankees. He got out of college last year. Oh, Postline. Nice. See, and that's for me. I have too many vices, so yeah. Oh my god! All right, Code. We're gonna switch something up now. We're gonna go over into mental health. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, first of all, I have to give you a lot of credit. Since your emergence onto the social media scene, you have taken a lot of freaking abuse. Just about your age, how you do your stakes. everything.
Right.
We're going to start here with this one. What's your secret? How do you just like laugh it off and not be like, I swear to God, I'm going to go to Washington State, find that motherfucker and kill him, you know?
No, for me, honestly, I think a big part of it was, growing up playing basketball so much and being an athlete, because part of, being a real competitive athlete meant there was a lot of crap talking, which taught me to just have thick skin and not to take anything too personally. I understand as guys, we joke around a lot about pretty much everything. I mean, if you heard Chris and I's conversations, you would probably look at us like, what in the world? Like they must hate each other. Every time I see him, I say, "Hey, Grandpa Chris." That's what I call him in the chat when I see him in streams and stuff. But like I said, it's all out of love and fun, and we both know that. And so, like I said, growing up the way I did, being an athlete, it taught me to just have thick skin. And I understand that guys joke around, and I have 2 younger sisters. And if you saw us and saw how I talk to them and treat them, people would probably think I'm the worst big brother ever because I give them crap. I tease them. I pick on them because I show love to them. And so I take that in return.
Yeah, because it's almost funny. It's like somebody chums the water when he enters a chat, because there's like 8,000 people just right there. And he's just like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Hey. But you gave us all quite a scare a little bit ago. You got the Rona.
I did.
How the hell did you stay mentally strong with that? Because if you believe the news, the moment you couldn't smell or taste anything, it's like, well, let me order the coffin now because I'm going to be in it in a couple days.
Right. Yeah. So that whole just COVID just nonsense was a lot for me to handle emotionally, and just in every aspect of life it was a lot. So not only did I catch COVID the week of Thanksgiving, I tested positive that Monday right before Thanksgiving, but I also had to quarantine for 2 weeks, the last, right at the end of July, first week of August last year. Because I was down in Florida on vacation with my family. They made me quarantine for 2 weeks before I can come back to school. Didn't matter if I had tested positive or not.
Right.
I was negative, but they didn't care. I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. In September, the basketball team had to quarantine for 2 weeks again because we had 2 teammates that tested positive. And then again in October, we had to quarantine again because our assistant coach tested positive. And then, of course, I caught COVID in November. So in the span of about 3 months and some change, I quarantined and spent a total of 8 weeks in quarantine. And for me, luckily, I guess it worked out in my favor. I'm pretty introverted, so for me, not having to talk to people, getting to do classwork online, I'm like, why have we not been doing this the whole time?
Devon was in heaven.
Right. So to me, I think the social aspect of quarantine and COVID and everything wasn't necessarily too terribly tough to deal with because, honestly, a lot of my good friends and people I talk to most often, I talk to through the internet anyways, because it's a lot of, guys in the beard community or guys that I've met that I've physically never even met. So I could still talk and, video chat or FaceTime or Instagram DM or whatever. The people I talk to on a regular basis and the people that I care about and have good friendships with. But at the same time, it was a lot for me to handle because I couldn't play basketball. Hey, what's going on, Scott?
You'll have your video tomorrow. With the heat here in Washington, I've been out of it. So you will have your video in your hands tomorrow, bro.
Hey, Scott, we need to call. We need to FaceTime here soon. It's been a while since I've talked to you. So we'll set something up. We'll talk soon. But yeah, so, with me being a college basketball player, basketball has been a huge part of my life. It's pulled me out of some dark times where I've just struggled emotionally, and not being able to play because when something goes wrong, if I'm stressed, if I'm anxious, if I'm worried, if I'm sad, my resort is go to the gym and just shoot until I forget about everything. And so, that for me, not having the ability to do that was a lot to handle because, just the everyday stress of being a college kid. I have assignments and am I going to get a medical school? And I'm 7 hours away from home and my family is not here. I can't see my family. If I got COVID and now what do I do? What if I don't get to see my family again because the media hasn't played out? Like I got it, now I'm dead. I was, there's a lot to handle. And like I said, for me, my coping mechanism has always been just go shoot a basketball until you forget about everything. Everything will be good.
Yeah, and the hard part for you for that, you couldn't because you're on lockdown.
Exactly. So I'm locked in the dorm room.
How? I mean, how did you pull through and you're the same guy you were as I talked to last time. You didn't lose anything. You didn't become bitter. You didn't become bell tower sniper out of your freaking dorm room. But still.
And I think a big part of it is me being real and opening up. Like I struggled a lot. Like there was times where I kind of just disappeared and I mean, luckily I didn't have much to do. So I just slept because I was honestly borderline, kind of struggling emotionally, almost depressed, kind of like in this mild depressive episode because I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, I can't go cope. So I guess if I just go to sleep, at least I'm asleep and I'm not thinking about whatever's going on.
Nice.
But I realized, one, that's not healthy to just keep it all bottled up. But
sorry, I'm seeing a little internet thing up top. I'm like, don't you fucking click on me again.
You're good, man. And so I realized, that's not the healthiest way. Hey, what's going on, Bill? It's just not the healthiest way to deal with it. Ooh.
That's for you, bro. It's the next knife that's going to be going up against the Twizzlers. Japanese blue paper steel against Twizzlers. Just for you, son bitch. Put that in my head, will you? I'll make you pay for that one.
And so yeah, it took, luckily I had plenty of time because I couldn't go anywhere. So it took some self-reflection and I had to look myself in the mirror and say, Devon, you've got to be real with yourself. You are more than a basketball player. And there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to hang your shoes up, and basketball can't be your only resort when it comes to dealing with any sort of stress or anxiety or sadness or any sort of emotion that you might be dealing with. And so I really had to look myself in the mirror and say, look, I'm more than a basketball player, so I need to find out how do I handle emotions like a human and not necessarily just go to the basketball gym and shoot basketballs until my feet bleed.
Like human.
Right. If you watch my first video, you might question if I'm human or robot, but
we all question a lot of things once we saw new code. All right, that's all.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Now, speaking of questions, and this will prove how good his friends were. How many of your good friends got a hold of you if you die, I'm dating her?
Luckily, none. They wouldn't say it until I think after I died because they know I'd probably kill them, or they'd have to kill me while I tried to kill them. So I'm sure plenty of them thought it, but no one actually said it. So.
Oh God, yeah, you in California and shooting, bro. That must have been. No offense, sorry.
Right.
Well, look who crawled out of his motherfucking death chair. Oh my God, the Jersey jerk off is alive.
Look who it is, man. Look who it is. What a guy. Father time.
Tell you, that's one guy. I did it to him because he's been sick recently.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't resist. I sent him a message on Instagram going, go ahead and die. I'll date her. I'm like, now you're going to live, aren't you? Just to piss me off.
Oh, man. You better hope he doesn't make it or he might try and kill you for that one.
Oh, he can't fly. He's scared of it. It's going to take him until the day I die to walk out here from New Jersey. And he's only been like 3 square blocks, period in his whole life. So if he gets out of there, you're going to find Lassie coming and getting you like, what? Joey fell down a well? What?
If he ever did try to make it out to the Pacific Northwest, he has to make it down the stairs without falling before he can do that. So, and
let's not talk about escalators, but still. Now I've picked on him enough. I've missed you, Joe. Just saying.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
All right, bro. So you recovered from that, but I mean, has it left any I don't want to say emotional scars with you, or are you just like, it was COVID, I lived?
Yeah, I mean, I think now, I guess this is kind of borderline selfish in a way, but good old North Jersey and that Taylor ham, right? Anyways,
pineapple.
Whatever you want to call it floats your boat. I'm cool with whatever. But yeah, looking back, I've already started to kind of question, like, one, how is this going to change everything else as far as like I want to enter into healthcare. So is this whole pandemic going to change what my future looks like as a healthcare provider?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think we all know that it is. It's just a matter of in what ways and to what extent. But that's one thing that's been on my mind that I guess, kind of affects me emotionally, because it's almost like I wanted to enter into healthcare for what I knew healthcare was before all of this. So is this all going to be different now? And am I still in the right path? Like, is this still something I'm going to want to keep doing if this does change a lot? But another thing is also, like, I missed out on a lot of college stuff because of all of this. Now, granted, like, I wasn't like that, my youngest sister, she ended up missing her high school graduation and she didn't get her senior prom. So she missed out on a lot of those experiences, but like I missed out on like just the dumps. Like we couldn't go to the dining hall and hang out in the dining hall and eat ice cream and cereal until we exploded and vomited everywhere. Or, if that, whatever we decided to go eat.
Don't judge me. That's a good night. Don't judge me.
Hey, I've been there plenty of times. Trust me, when the chicken and the meatloaf looks horrific, I'm like, yep, cereal and ice cream it is. But, I've missed out on, the tailgates at the bar or for the football games. And because I missed out on, we used to do big team catered meals with our foster families for the basketball team before home games. We didn't get to do all of that stuff. Yeah. And so I think I missed a very big portion of some of the college. Obviously I still had to go to class and still had homework to do, but that's not, I don't think, the memorable part of college for a lot of people. But I missed out on a lot of the fun, the tailgates, the barbecues, the college parties that we may or may not were supposed to be at, but that's besides the point, because we couldn't do a lot of that stuff. And so I think, granted, I still have some time left, and if all of this continues to progress in a positive fashion and manner, I can hopefully get to do some of that stuff. But I missed out on almost 2 years of a lot of that stuff. And so I'm almost like, did I miss the college experience that my cousin got to have when he was at the University of Buffalo? Because he told me all the time about the crazy dumb stuff they did and the wild parties and the clubs and the tailgates and having Madden tournaments until 3:00 in the morning in the dorms and just all kinds of stuff like that.
That's called a Tuesday in a military barracks. That's all I'm
right. Exactly. Yeah. So I'll just join the military. Perfect. Got it. And exactly. Like I think college is the time where you're supposed to experience and, get out there and do dumb stuff that my mom always told me not to do. And
thank God you didn't say Strohs. I'd have had to shoot your Iron Wings. That's all I'm saying.
And so, I think long story short, luckily I don't think it's hit me too much. And I'm hoping that because I did have a year, almost 2 years where I did get to experience the college life. But like my 21st birthday, I literally didn't get to do anything because of COVID. So, am I a little bit bitter? Yeah, because I didn't get to have the crazy 21st birthday story. And I think, I'm
everybody needs one of those,
And don't get it twisted. I definitely celebrated once things were opened up. We still went out and celebrated for the 21st the proper way. It just wasn't on my birthday or on the birthday weekend. So, I don't know. I think it's gonna take some more time to see exactly what experiences I missed out on, or maybe didn't get to realize, I didn't realize that they were going to be that meaningful. But I think emotionally, it definitely has taken a toll. And even like in the aftermath, I didn't realize, like, even as introverted as I am,
comment of the night right there, and I'd expect that from a vet. Way to go, brother!
Right. And, but yeah, I look back and I think emotionally, like I said, even as an introvert, I didn't realize, like, I do need to talk to people as much as I think I don't. And, like even the conversations I'd have with teammates in the locker room, like that in and of itself was a stress relief for me, because we joke around and we laugh and we talk, and sometimes it gets serious. Most of the time it's not, but, just having those conversations were really meaningful. And they mean a lot. And so I think not being able to do that for a while did take a toll on me, because I kept a lot of stuff bottled up, and there was for a while where I wasn't necessarily in the best place emotionally or mental health wise. So,
and my 21st there, Dan, I was stationed in Korea. I don't remember that weekend. That's all I'm saying. I really don't.
If you don't remember that, I hear that means that you did it right. So,
Well, that's just God's way of saying you will never ever recall this. But no, and I feel what you're saying because like the cuteness factor started kindergarten this year.
mm-hmm.
For most of the year, it was online learning.
Right.
And that's not school when you're sitting at your dining room table in a Zoom call. That's not school. And I felt so aggravated and just pissed off at Mount Vernon School District because with 2 months left to go in school, they went, okay, these kids are going to go in the morning. These kids will go in the afternoon. If you don't want your kid to go, they can go distance learning, but they're not going to see the class they've been with the whole year. They're going to start everything all over with a brand new teacher and brand new class. I'm like, what's the point? It's 2 months.
Right.
She's already missed on everything. Which, it still makes me go, you sure you're my kid? Because all the teachers are like, she's a pleasure. She's so great. She does her work. She's well behaved. I'm like, my kid. I live with her. Stop lying to me.
Like, are you sure that one's mine? Like,
yeah, it's also not one of my prouder moments with the brat in one of her parent-teacher conferences. So how you doing today? Well, at least I put on pants. Until COVID, I didn't know I had dress jammy bottoms, okay? I didn't know.
Hey, man, I will say I wasn't necessarily – now, obviously, it's a little bit different. I'm not in kindergarten, and I don't necessarily – I've had the whole lifetime of school and social interaction. But as a college student, when it comes to having 8 a.m. lectures, I'm all for sitting in basketball shorts, my underwear, or pajama sweats, and just sitting on my iPad. I'm cool with it. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to talk to you, especially if it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So if I can sit in my pajamas, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but I also think you brought up a great aspect about the whole Rona thing, and it ties into mental health, and it's also tying into some of the stuff I do with the wrap up. Because, like I said, I wanted to do this about an hour, just because it's cool in my house. Well, kind of the sun's going down over here. What's really bad is if you look right at me, there's one window that has a tree blocking it, but the one right next to it has like 2 branches. And when the sun comes up and over our apartment complex, it's like, hi, death is coming for you through the window.
It's blaring.
But I think with COVID, a lot of us lost that social interaction ability because now you look at people like, okay, mask mandates have been lifted, but we would really appreciate if you wore 5 masks, okay, because 4 won't stop the virus, but 5 will. But if you're vaccinated, you don't have to. And then go walking into Walmart without a mask on, and I'm like, what, am I wearing a big letter A down here somewhere? I mean, what,
Right.
And yes, guys, that's a book reference. Read a book every so often, okay? It's called The Scarlet Letter. Look it up. Google it. Do whatever. Yes, Chris is smart. Chris is okay. Chris reads books.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish does not quite count.
What's the point? Go to your reading level, okay?
Right. Hey, read what you have to. I'm all for it.
And yes, so just somebody out there can take this little clip and run with it. I know I've had too much to drink when my baby girl has to explain Dr. Seuss to me, okay? So I hope y'all caught that one.
There you go.
Now, here's another one for you run, tell, tattle motherfuckers. I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to get back to code. Please go tell Gary Lewis I think he has incredible products, and I really hate the fact that Chesapeake is closing its doors at the end of the year. Now go run, tell, tattle about that. Fuck y'all.
There you go.
But it's just things like that where you've lost that social interaction. Everybody looks at you differently.
Right.
And just like you saw tonight, I have never in the history of my channel blocked somebody. Ever. I've put one person in timeout, and he apologized for it the very next day in an email. I'm like, dude, it's forgiven. And there's never been an incident ever since. But tonight, I had to block 2 because the internet gives you that freedom to be like, I'm going to troll Code. Hey, Code. Oh, yeah. Do you know the basketball team cut you because, like, your beard is funky? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a big mess, I think, honestly, as far as, like, just social interaction. I think now I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth or speak on anyone's behalf, but I think what part of it is we all know that a lot of the nonsense, the drama, the crap talking, whatever, comes from behind some sort of keyboard more often than it does me walking up to you on the street and saying, I hate your guts and I'm going to punch you in your face because you suck at making YouTube videos. people don't really do that. Now, there are some people who I know will blatantly tell you to your face that they don't like. Cool, I respect that. But like I said, more often than not, hey, what's going on, Eric? I just got back in town, man. We need to meet up ASAP.
You're coming back soon, Eric. Don't listen to him. You're coming back soon.
But like I said, I think more often than not, it happens from behind a keyboard or some anonymous page or some hidden account or, with some sort of hidden agenda or whatever, more often than not. And I think with us not being in person and everything being virtual or online or socially distanced, I think that gives people more time and more capability, I guess, and more will to do that sort of nonsense and drama and, I think that's why you're having, hey, Eric, I'll text you after this, man. We'll make something happen. But like I said, I think that gives people, because everything's kind of transitioned to where you communicate mostly through, platforms like this or on Instagram or Zoom or whatever it is. I think people now feel like it's more okay, I guess, to do these nonsense drama, burner account type of things because there's not as much in-person, face-to-face social interaction as there was before this whole pandemic thing happened, which is part of the reason I think it's gotten so bad. And I also think, again, none of us got the social interaction that we need for the most part. I think every person needs to interact and kind of engage with people on some sort of level, whether you're an introvert or not. And so I think not having any sort of that for a long time did kind of mess that up for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people struggled in terms of how they handle social interaction. Some people for the better, some people for the worse. Some people just kind of had to change how they do it. But there's been a lot of changes in social interaction, I think, because of all of this.
Yeah, and that's the huge part. Like, I remember way back when. And then we're going to start wrapping things up, guys, because, I hear kids loading Nerf guns and downstairs is really cold. So, yeah, we're having a war tonight. And yes, for any of you who want to have a problem, my kids are loved. They have better firearms than I do. I made sure of that. Mine fires quicker, but they have better weapons. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, and for you guys who want to keep watching, please freeze frame that. It's going to be a thumbnail pretty soon in a YouTube video.
There you go.
But still, like in the beginning of the pandemic, how they were like, okay, we suggest you wear a mask. And then like you walked into like a Walmart and it's bare. I have never once ever been into walking to a Walmart that wasn't a 24-hour one at 3:00 in the morning. Hey, Andrew, sorry I missed your call. I'll get back in touch with you later, bro. That wasn't in the morning. And being able to go get your groceries, hit a checkout and go.
Right.
And the whole time you're walking around and you're like, so is this how I die? In the bread aisle?
Yeah. And, it was like, to me, I'm somebody like, if I have to go to the store, if it's just like real quick, I don't mind if it's running to Walmart to grab one thing, but I'm on a mission. Like I know exactly where I'm going. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm going to grab what I need. I'm hitting the self-checkout and I'm out of there as fast as possible. If I have to go because I need to go grocery shopping or whatever, the Walmart out in Kansas that we go grocery shopping at, or if we go to Dillon's, like I go right before they close, or I go Walmart's 24/7. So I go at 1:00 in the morning and I'm doing my grocery shopping while there's nobody in there because I didn't like the social interaction. So I liked, when the pandemic first kind of hit and nobody's at Walmart, I'm like, this is great. Like, why I can come at 3 PM and there's nobody here. This is wonderful. And now that things are kind of starting to, open up and get back to, like they were before to an extent, as far as like, when you can go to the grocery store. Like the other day, I went with my mom. We had just got back in town. There's practically no groceries in the house. So we went. It was packed. And I was like, I'll just starve. I'm good. I don't want to eat tonight anyways. There's too many people here. Let's leave. Like, we'll come back later tonight. I don't want to do this right now. It's just so.
Beanie Weenie sounds awesome, Mom. Let's go open a can.
Yeah, that's why I am all as lazy as it is, and I know this is like the most privileged first world country thing that probably ever existed. I love Walmart and like Amazon grocery delivery and everything being able to just curbside pickup. I love it. You're telling me I don't have to deal with anybody. I can walk up, grab my groceries, and leave? That is, thank you. Every single time, yes.
In the whole history of knowing this man, this is the most passionate I've ever heard him speak about anything. Well, other than his girlfriend and basketball.
True. Very true.
The most passionate is, fuck you people. I want to avoid you. Just put my groceries on the outside. I'm good.
Right. I don't want you to ask how my day is while you put the groceries in the back of my car. Just leave. I'll get the groceries. You just set them outside and go back inside. I'll get them. You just leave me alone.
See, that was so strange for me. Like last year when I had to order a brand new iPad, curbside pickup at Best Buy. They're like, "What are you here for?" Get my receipt. One moment. Here you go. Really? Cool. You know? But all right, guys, we're going to get in one last little thing, and we're going to hit that wrap up. All right? For anybody who's watched to this point in the video, there's maybe, 5 of you? That's okay. I love all of you. What advice code would you give to people who want to start their YouTube career? If you could narrow it down to 3 little things.
Yeah. One, I think it's just start. You're never going to feel like you're ready. So don't use the excuse.
Okay, Andrew, sorry.
Andrew, yeah, that Andrew knows. That is like crack to me. I love that stuff. Yeah, but like I said, first thing is just start. You're never gonna feel like you're ready. You're never gonna feel equipped enough to start. Don't allow I don't have the proper equipment. I don't have this. I don't know how to do that. You're never gonna feel 110% ready to get started. So the biggest thing is just start. That was my thing for a while. I wanted to start the reason it's funny. We talked about COVID and, leaving that conversation. The whole reason I got started making content is because I was bored and at home, we got sent home because of COVID. Else to do. And I'd wanted to start for a while, but I used the excuse of me living in a dorm room to not start. So, yes, I use that excuse. I'm giving you advice, just start now. You're never going to feel like you're ready, but if you're thinking about it, just start. Worst case scenario, you hate it and you stop. But if you're thinking about it, just start. 2, obviously, everybody kind of says it, but find who you are as a content creator. Don't try to be Dan. Don't try to be Chris. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be anybody for that matter, but be you. Ultimately, if I wanted to watch Dan, I'm going to go watch Dan. If I want to watch Chris, I'm going to watch Chris. I'm not going to watch somebody else who's trying to be Chris or trying to be Dan if I can go watch that person directly. So be you and make people fall in love with who you are as a person and as a content creator. And I think that's going to carry you a lot further than trying to put on this persona or somebody that you're not. You want people to fall in love and enjoy watching you because you're you and how you do things, not because you're trying to put on this fake persona of trying to be whoever else for that matter.
Do it, Iron Wings. Do it. Let me know when you do it. I'll be there to subscribe and watch.
Heck yeah. Send it to me too. And 3,
See, I knew somebody would. I said nice things about you, Gary.
Right. But yeah, I think the third thing is more so about once you kind of get into making content and starting things, but just never settle. You can always be better. I know that I'm far from the perfect content creator. I know I still have plenty to get better at. But I think if you become just content or you're happy or you're okay with where you're at, that's where you fall short. I think as long as you're striving to get better and better every single video, that's what really matters. Man, Andrew, I appreciate that, man. Love you like a brother, man. I've always said that. Andrew was one of the very, very, very first people to subscribe to my channel, and he watched the god-awful videos that I put out at the very beginning. And I could not be more appreciative of him, his support, his friendship. So,
and speaking of Andrew, I have to get this plug out there. All right. Go subscribe to Andrew's channel. Absolutely. Guys, what he's doing over there with the crash, I watched him this weekend. It brought tears to my eyes. It was beautiful. It was awesome. He laid his heart out. It was all genuine. He is a true person. You want to follow, you want to watch, you want to give him the like, the shares, the subscribes. Do it for him. Just go subscribe. Trust me.
Absolutely, man. To piggyback on that, like I said, check out his channel. All of his content is great. It's all really good. But specifically, check out his last stream that he did on Sunday where he opened up and talked about him and his life and his story because, man, you think you're a macho guy who's made of stainless steel and rock. Check that out because that was absolutely beautiful to just hear Andrew talk about his life and him and himself. It was something really special. So check that out for sure.
Yes, and I have to give Dan a shameless plug. If you want to learn how to make prison pizza, if you really want to learn how to make a shank out of something, he's in Supermax. Go watch him. Love you, Dan. All right, bro. So we're going to hit that little wrap up and that fun stuff. And I always do it like this, guys. I always love to leave everyone with a challenge. All right. It's not homework. It's not going to cost you anything. Seriously, this is free. Take a moment or two this coming week. Call 3 people you haven't talked to in a while. Just call them and just go, how you doing? Simply because that whole social interaction thing that we've been losing and we've been talking about tonight, we need to get it back. You never know the struggles that somebody is going through. You never know how your phone call or even a message on Instagram can change somebody's day. I literally sent a message to someone the other day going, I know I haven't been in touch in a while, bro. I'm sorry. Checking in on you. And he told me how much it meant to him, how it changed his outlook on certain things, how he was having a bad day. So that didn't cost me anything but maybe 30 seconds of my time. If you can't do 3, which is real simple, do 2. If you can't do 2, hold on. There we go. Right finger. Do 1. Yes, I actually have to check, okay? But guys, it's that whole connection. It brings back stuff. And Eric, he's a great example. I've talked to Eric when I've been down. I've talked to Code when I've been down. And this is one of the few people who can say I'm actually this freaking moronic on a phone just like I am in a live. Yeah. See how he's not denying it?
I promise you he is.
But guys, do those. Just take a moment of your time. Reach out, talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will tell you honestly, just because he's in here and I'm going to pick on him just for a moment, if you want a no BS assessment of everything you're doing, talk to Gary Lewis. He doesn't pull any punches. He's going to hit you right in the mouth, and he's going to carry on with his day. So if you want the God's honest, kill you dead truth, talk to Gary. Now, I always do this, Code. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, just like I said, I don't know if I've ever told you this actually, but I love that you send that challenge out to people to just reach out, a call, a text, an Instagram message, whatever it is. Because I've been there where I'm an introvert, so I don't necessarily take the initiative to reach out to people as much as I probably should, and don't take that as a sign that I don't care about you, or that I don't want to talk to you. Hey, what's going on, Clint? Like I said, don't take that personal. Don't take it like I don't want to talk to you or I don't like you or anything like that. I'm just introverted, and I really struggle with taking the initiative to reach out to people and just spark conversation. And it's something that I need to improve on. So I try and do that same challenge every time. Even if it's an old teammate from high school, if it's somebody in the beard community, if it's whoever, family, whatever it might be, I try to do that just because I know how much it can mean to people. When people have done that to me, it meant tons. Especially when I've just kind of been struggling, if I'm stressed out, if I'm, feeling upset because I miss the family, whatever, it can make a world of difference. Even if it's just something as simple as, hey man, I've been thinking about you. Hope you're doing okay. Like that can really make somebody's day and bring a smile to their face. So absolutely. Like I said, 3 people, it can take you 30 seconds to get that done and knock that out. It's not a big deal. Even if that means pausing somebody's YouTube video, as long as it's not mine, of course. But yeah, man, reach out because it can make a world of difference to somebody. So
now, before I reveal what I got coming up, I always like to act. Big up, Chris. Make your mouth move. What do you have coming up this next week, bro? Or what do you have that you're planning on rolling out for your channel that you might want to share?
Yeah, it has been far too long, but there will be a new video out this week. Promised. It's mark my word. I said it here. It'll be out. I actually have that video entirely edited and everything. I just need to upload it and do all of the fun stuff that we do with thumbnails and tags and titles and all that kinds of stuff. But that will be out probably Friday. That's probably when it's going to be out. I know I need to be better about more consistent posting and having a schedule. It's just been tough with traveling and being in school and everything else. But yeah, look for that. There will be a review out Friday for sure. And then from then, it's going to be a lot of content. I talked about it the other day on Jordan's stream, but I have this list of videos, notes and just ideas on my phone. No dorm room Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I was about to highlight that.
It won't take 15 years to upload it now that I'm back home. So
he would start uploading, go on vacation, come back 10%.
All right, 10% and failed. Try again. But yeah, so I have just tons and tons of ideas as far as videos that I've wanted to make happen, and I just haven't had the time. And I know that's an excuse because I have to choose between sleeping for 4 hours after studying all night or filming a video. And Hey Clint, man, I'm a KU fan, so I don't know if I can jump ship and take off to another Big 12 school, man. But hey, if Coach Beard calls, I'd be more than willing to make that happen. But yeah, so I mean, I have tons and tons of ideas. I have tons of content that I need to get caught up on, and just tons of stuff and ideas that I've had for a while that I want to put out for myself. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about getting hopefully a lot of stuff out. My plan is while I'm home for the summer, I've got all of until about halfway through August when I go back to school. My personal goal is to film at least 3 videos a week. Even if that means I don't put out 3 videos, I want to have, I want to, yeah, Beard, he did go to UT. He's a UT grad though, so I can't blame him too much, man. But I would love to film 3 videos a week, even if I only put out 1, so I can stockpile stuff. So that way, if I run into being stressed, not wanting to film, being too busy with basketball, I still have content that I can put out to people, because I hate taking a break from uploading content, and that's not fair. It's not fair to my viewers.
Block, film,
yeah,
library.
I know I need to, man. I really, really need to. And so that's one of my personal goals, like I said, is going to be to film 3 videos a week, even if it means I only put out 1 and I just stockpile the other 2, even if they don't get edited right away, because I like editing and I can bang out the editing, pretty quick. So, yeah, that's my goal. So that way I can get more content out to everybody more regularly. Gary, man, I would love, man, let me tell you, Devon, I'm all for it. Devon Booker and me, I love it. I'd love to make that happen. If the Sun, anybody in that organization, you tell them to give me a call, and I will buy everybody all the Chesapeake that they can possibly imagine.
Nice. All right, guys. So for tomorrow, seeing how people really love when I pick on cloned blades, I got 2 in one video tomorrow. I found a clone of a Doug Marcaida blade, and I found a clone of a clone of the same one. So that video is dropping tomorrow. I also had planned to shoot my review of this simply because the better half challenged me. She's like, if you're buying that, you're shooting a review. Done. I'm a big geek at heart. You're going to let me have a Batman grappling? Come on. So this review will be coming out very, very soon. Plus, I'm going to put an urban legend to the test. I'm going to tell you now. Have you heard the one where Skittles all taste the same? And the only reason that you identify that Skittle as lemon is because you see the yellow coating on there. And your brain identifies from the package as lemon, so your brain goes, that's lemon.
I have.
During Pride, Skittles puts out bag of pure white Skittles.
I saw those the other day.
I'm going to film a review on that and put that urban legend to the test. Is it the shell? Is it your brain? Is it something inside it? I've never, ever purchased a bag of those because I've never been able to find them. But, we can thank COVID for that and dead stores. And they're like, oh, hey, look, here's a lot of product. Come buy it. And me being fat boy going, candy.
Very fair. I like it.
I can be honest.
I like it.
Iron Wings haven't done it yet. It is in the works. That's all I can say.
Nice.
But, guys, that's what I've got coming up. Code Brother, like I said, thank you for venturing back into the no lag zone. It is never a boring time with you.
Absolutely.
It went really quick. It was a great conversation. I would love to have you back at some point. We just, want to cycle some more guests in there so it doesn't look like I'm playing favorites. But,
No, absolutely, man. I had fun, tons of fun the first time. It was tons of fun again this time. So I'm always down to be a guest again anytime. We'll definitely have to make that happen sometime. So
I appreciate that. So, guys, I say this at the end of everyone, and don't you go anywhere because I got to roll a little outro. But I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a safe day. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in our very next video. Guys, thank you so much for the time you just gave me. I hope you enjoyed our guest tonight, if we had one, and yes, I'm pre-recording this, or that you might have enjoyed an open mic night or whatever the heck just happened. We're going to try to do these every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever you guys are in between and around the world. Next week, we should have another amazing guest or something really cool for you to watch. Thanks so much for watching all this stuff, guys, and we'll see you in our next one.